Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to GODS United Pro Scrims. I am your host for tonight, Professor Tars, and let's go through the teams we've got. I know there's some small changes, but it doesn't, it's not going to really screw up. Oh no, they actually changed it on the stream as well, so we are running a 5-minute delay, and it's going to be professionally observed, this one, so a step up for me, but also the first time. So bear with me if there's any technical issues, and do let me know if that is the case. So according to team slots, we have Team 5, SKYFALL, Team 6, Unidentified, Team 7, Number 1 EU, Team 8, Destiny, Team 9, Energy, Team 10, we have Dr. Animal, Team 11, Be My Loot, Team 12, ITKxESPORTS, Team 13, Haloy Byaban. Sorry, if I didn't pronounce that properly, you can teach me, just DM me, send me something so I can pronounce it properly. In slot 14, we have the 963, Team 15, we have Blackjack Esports, Team 16, 4 Men 1 Army, Team 17, the Captains, Team 18, Good Game, Team 19, we have the 202 Squad, Team 20, we have No Limits, Team 21, GODS Ultimate, Team 22, the 9 ACCES. And that will be the team run through. I'm going to wait for this to start, and I'm going to be doing my best. And yes, let's wait for some good actions. Can't wait for this professionally observed scrim. I'll be right back. What's up, guys? Here we go. We've got match 1 on the way. Let's get some Erangel action, shall we? How's everyone doing? As we have the plane path out right now. Very southern path, actually, going through basically the main military base through to this western bridge all the way towards the western coast, just off the south side of Hospital. So with this type of circle, this type of plane path, a lot of the teams won't be able to assess the top right of the minimap very easily. They need to know the vehicle spawns, they need to know the drops, they need to just look at the next circle, and then we will find out. And but if these teams like to go to, let's say, Yasnaya, Kameshki, Stelba, even Severny, they will have the possibility and the chance to do that without a lot of contest if they get those cars. Seems like there's not a lot of people on that southern island. So let's find out the team's distribution in just very short. Look at that crazy amount of congestion of teams heading towards Georgopol and Hospital area. Quarry, Therapy, Primos, basically untouched. We have Uni there, taking that Novo drop. A lot of teams around that coastal region, and we will see where they go as we have some early action already. Something between GG as well as 202. That is some knock as well elsewhere, but this is the early action, this coastal rich compound contest between 202 and the side of the 9 ACCES. And that will be a brilliant early knock coming from T9A. That is beautiful drop shot right there. The double knock happening right now. Advantage going over to T9A. That is 202 losing to pretty early. Still got 18 teams. Of course, that is the lobby for tonight. 65 alive. And the action has not stopped as we find a return knock right here. No, it's actually going to be quite a few teams around here. So we've got 202, we have T9A. But GODS Ultimate's also here as they lose the first player with a Kyrie there just pinched behind that truck. T9A trying to exert dominance early, trying to fight 2 teams at the same time. They've already got 3 team kills, yet to suffer a casualty. And that will be a return knock back onto them. T9A finally feeling the pressure. 2 of them knocked right now. GODS Ultimate has been patient. Kyrie, although his position's known, T9A wasn't able to capitalize on that one as they lose 1 player. Another one still knocked. Not sure whether the support will come in. GODS Ultimate is putting that pressure in. A 3v2 situation in favor of the GODS. But look at that beautiful a knock again onto T9A. They had a lot of early pressure, a lot of the early kills, but given these compounds, it's so hard to have more resources if you fight 2 teams at the time. That will be, amongst 3 teams, the winner of these rich compound being GODS themselves. They are the god, they're the kings. They lost 1 player, but they have 4 kills. And that is this game 1. Off to a very compact, the combat and fight heavy start. And here we have some Milter action as well. We saw it on the kill feed. The side of the captains had some early action earlier. Now they're pulling up to here and against energy. A lot of experienced players. We've seen them play before. That is them using a beautiful formation to 2-1. Eliminate that side threat is going to be them taking out the side of the captains. The early action leave them down to a numbers disadvantage, and energy will catch the last players just off that south side of Milta. This is my first time, by the way, guys. Not first time casting, but to have some professional cameramen to do it for me. So the different setup for stream as well and everything. So let me know if you're liking it. I will try to fix whatever glitches or audio issues there is. And Yasnaya here seems to be pretty uncontested. Number 1 EU. No, actually, there is a team. If we see on that minimap, no, it's going to be 2 teams sharing Yasnaya, respecting each other's position. On the western side, we have number 1 EU, and we have Dr. Animal on that eastern side. So this type of... I think both teams had the same idea, right? They know it's a very southern path, and the northern side should be less congested. We'll get them an easier, quieter early game. And they both want to make this rotation only to find each other sharing this Yasnaya control. And in Pachinki, we have no limits. Just based on that mini-map, seems like there's no one close by. It will be a pretty center bit here. Yet to see that mini-map. See where they are with respect to the phase 1 circle. And in South Georgia Pool, we have 4 men, 1 army. With no one quite around, but they have a good distance to travel. The blue zone is now coming in. They've got 1,400 meters to cover. So need to make this. That is the thing with going for a wide and far rotation. To go away from the congested area, if the phase 1 circle complements the plane path, you will have to leave. So you have to go north and come back south. That takes a lot of time. When we look at pro plays, higher level plays, a lot of these teams just start making the first rotation after 2 minutes of looting, and this will just slow it down. And the Yasnaya action finally is about to break. We have 963 here actually breaching this side of Dr. Animal. That is going to be a good hold by one of the players from Dr. Animal, but that will not be sufficient. The support comes in. 963 will flush that one and get the revive as well. Good to see the amount of supporters in the chat. This is pretty high tier play. And the side of N1, hearing those gunshots, know that there's action on the other side of Yasnaya. Now slowly maneuvering through this beautiful big city. Maybe trying to get some third-party action. A little bit of those movements will be spotted by the 963. They've land a few shots down, but they're all pinched behind this one building. If we look at that mini-map there, that is a beautiful split formation from number 1 EU, trying to pinch from multiple sides. We can see Sard there on that western side, on the south, across those buildings, we have Tom and Nini. No, there is still quite far away. Maybe he will opt in to do another rotation onto the the eastern side to further pinch this. Boyka with that nade almost killed himself or herself. And that will be a little bit of a standoff. I believe both of these teams will still need to rotate. So very patiently hard peeking from that western side, and will definitely punish 963 if they poke their heads out. 4 men, 1 army is fighting, as we see on that kill feed. We will need to catch that soon, but this standoff can be damaging for both teams because they want to also get a good position in the next circle. And this will just slow down that rotation as well as burn down resources. Look at that nade into that hole. It is actually going to be a molly. That is a brilliant little bit of maneuver, but 963 will find that little bit of a dip, and the cover fire comes in to stop Nell from pushing into that space and alley. And how's everyone doing? Is everything smooth so far? Hopefully you're liking this one. And we have that phase 2 circle determined. We'll wait for it to show on that map. And these teams are trying to make that movement now. It's a very long standoff between number 1 and the 963. The off angle is still there for N1. Can work magic for them. It's such an interesting experience. To get a professional observer, I didn't get to choose what I see, but I will just use what I'm given. And some beautiful shots with that AK biker. Look at that health bar. It's basically non-existent. And that is 963 with the disadvantage. Beautiful double knock, triple knock coming through from N1. That is N1 taking that win. The patience will be rewarded. The formation is sweet. And the team fight was clean. And that is N1 taking out the 963 at 16th position. Good game here. GG trying to scout this compound to the northwestern side of shelter. Violence has been trying to find a little bit of those ridge lines, using it to scout. And in those northwestern side of shelter, we have energy in this beautiful Erangel 2.0 refurbished big warehouse, and in those sets of compound just to the south of that we have I believe the 202 squad. And Violence definitely felt some shots coming from 202, and now just using that 4 times on the M416 to hard peak. But there's more than one star pressure. Some beautiful shots landing onto energy by. Good game there. I realized I didn't get to talk a lot about it because I still need to get to know these teams more as the night goes on. And if I cast this more, I will do that as well. Yeah, so need to see that mini-map. I'll try to communicate with the sites of GODS Ultimate, and I will maybe get more of that scene because we can tell a lot from the mini-map. I like to see rotations. I like to look at the new circle and predict where the actions can be. But these guys know better than I do as they bring us back to Yasnaya, the stand of N1 after taking down the initial third-party team being 963. They would continue to have the standoff with the side of Dr. Animal, the very typical spot as we see that mini-map on that map centering over Mansion region with the eastern coastline in play. So the pretty open side will still be north, but there's not a lot of teams to the north of Yasnaya, so it will come down to these teams using their basic but essential skill to drive and scout. And if we find this bit here, we have a team taking a very northern part as well, just off to Stelba. We have 4 men, 1 army using these sets of warehouses to grab a little bit more loot, but they start to make that action and rotation, seemingly a wide one along the eastern coast. And then prison here also in play. SKYFALL Nope, Unidentified is the name, and they will be holding that prison position. There's a lot of team holding that part there mentioned, prison, as we have the next shift going to the eastern side. Lipovka is in play. Not sure whether it's been looted, but there will be a lot of coast play, I believe. A lot of teams need to still make that rotation. GODS Ultimate with the initiative rotating in already from prison. Unidentified will have to move as well, but look at all these teams needing to thread the needle, needing to find that rotation path. Blackjack Esports, BJC, we haven't seen them enough yet this game. They're out of the circle now, rotating in from the western edge. The two teams from Yasnaya Poliana has to do the same. No congestion on that northern edge will allow 4Men 1 Army to come in from the northern parts. 202 and GODS Ultimate are very close to each other as they attempt to enter from the southwestern side. And that is N1. Oh, that is a bit of a compound breach. That is BJC making some work there. 2 kills right now with 1 knock, but they found themselves a pretty solid compound on that northwestern edge, and they will continue to lay some shots into Destiny. And look at 202 here, having some trouble rotating towards the eastern parts of Mansion. A lot of these compounds are held already. That is no limits, down to only Reese. 1 team kill, but down to a solo player. He's got a bit of compound, but upon a compound breach, that will be pretty tricky for them to hold. GODS Ultimate have a bit of a scout, using rich lines, using vehicles and rocks, and they will be facing the side of Unidentified, maybe finding some angles onto GODS Ultimate. These 4 houses close to prison and mentioned area would be highly contested in the circle, as we see the side of 4Men 1 Army taking an eastern coastline control. In the Lipovka, we have GODS Ultimate making it all the way through the middle circle to just take some hard cover in that city. Joining the party around here will be Haloy Byaban. I'll just call them HPY, like their clan tag, and they will find themselves one set of these compounds, like I mentioned earlier, very strong with sufficient positions to park the cars and a lot of elevation. That is them finding some angles onto GODS Ultimate, yet to get a knock though. And that is the strength of these team. There's the strength and experience. They know, even in open ground, which particular dip, which particular rock and tree would give them the advantage. And when the whole team went back to the west side of Yasnaya to grab a car, and they're now in the circle, only to find themselves another hard shift. It will center over Mansion. It's a southwestern shift. These teams that thought they could play the eastern coastline, only to find themselves needing to rotate back in again. And that's what we see already. All these teams on the western side trying to come in. We have 4Men 1 Army. We have N1 rotating in the clockwise manner as well, coming in from the east side. GODS Ultimate will have to do the same as well from Lipovka. And that is some players lost on rotation. We have SKYFALL trying to rotate through here. The side of GG trying to capitalize on this, but will not get a knock. What they have, though, is already 6 team kills. And that will be a very, very strong momentum for them. But there's still 13 teams to go, 38 players. And with a lot of positions still in the middle zone of this new circle. This is the southern edge here. SKYFALL only rocking the trio this game. I didn't even know. Like, if you saw my previous cast, I like to stay on the minimap and team list quite a lot to understand numbers advantage, as well as, of course, positions, favorite drop spots, etc. As we see, Respect holding a spot here, basically pinched behind the rock, giving that information to his teammates, and the two other players will do a wide rotation to avoid this one in that southern edge, and will go even wider. BJC pulling up to try to claim this compound, helped by the GODS, but there's a beautiful knock coming through. Is actually the third party from N1, and look at BJC just pinched behind that ridge right there, and the nades are raining in, and that is a beautiful finish with that nade. That is BJC, 2 players up, 1 knock right now. We'll get that revive to continue. They have another minute or so to go, and 300 meters to cross and cover, and that will be them getting a little bit of that breathing room. Has 4 team kills right now, but not a position in the circle. They will have to thread that needle, make that decisive call. As GODS using a lot of utilities here, trying to get something out of BJC, but may not leave them the resources for endgame. As BJC tries to move out of this, the suppressive fire from GODS has been continuing as they prioritize the rotation. 200 meters of rotation, 40 seconds to go. They will pull away, leaving Dictator to spoil this on his own. ITK is fighting HB elsewhere, and that seems to be a very good one. Look at them using that position on that southern side. Although they didn't have those cars around, they would just try to maneuver around all these metal shields of the car. That is ITK trying to make that work. That is ITK also receiving some shots, because very close to them we have SKYFALL. The duo from ITK has a position in here, and it's about the patience and the PUBG IQ, and that will be them pinched behind several teams. The trigger discipline opening of fire earlier will have their position exposed, and this southern side is to stay pretty busy as we see the side of GG spotting some rotation. Look at all this chaos right here, everyone just trying to find a spot, and that is BJC holding this one and fighting the squad house with energy. Losing 2 players is a 2v2 situation. Seems like there's no close teams. But the other side, we're also fighting. That is unidentified, having some issues. Severe pressure onto them. Look at them all knocked next to that wall, as you see on the bottom right of the screen. And that is a beautiful one from Dr. Animal, eliminating Unidentified at 9th position. And that is the higher tier play. 40 seconds until the zone pops. Fury almost goes down to that nade. It's going to be that 2v2 as we said. The good thing is they are in the circle. But the bad thing is teams will keep coming in to breach this one. You take out 2. There comes another 4 maybe. So, but look at that nade. Well, with the gas tech can assistance as well. Energy with the upper hand, and will threat that frag grenade, maybe just to finish the knock player of BJC. A team still is crazy phase 6. And we've seen Destiny in the kill feed enough. Dr. Animal hasn't got that breathing room, and they're now already fighting another team. That is HB taking down one of Dr. Animal. 7 teams, 14 players. Basically all duos, according to math. Like, that is just the average there. And look at the amount of players still out of the circle. All the action will happen in this one house, and the other, if you can just see it, to the southwestern side of this new circle. All these teams still choked at the southern side, most of them just playing edge. And this is the type of circle where you just need to rely on utilities, your knowledge of the map using dips and a car, and a good split as we see from the side of GODS Ultimate, trying to increase the control over that part of the map. Issue is, they still need to make it into the circle. So that split and anchor point is yet to work for them. They still need the player to get a position in the zone to give the information for the two leaving behind, but they can definitely play spoiler as we see Shah here looking at GODS Ultimate, trying to spoil it. And look at Destiny with the push, not scared at all. Living with a sliver of health will be Kalat, and they will just enter this compound, but everyone's just looking at this one. Just in a split second, we are down to 4 kills. That is GODS losing 2 as they come in here. Violence will feel the violence from the rest of the lobby. They are going solo here. GODS, 17 kills, only 2 players left, just using all these cover from smokes with cars. And they are going to tune their audio to use the perfect audio cues, use their ears, that they've had that training, as well as that reflex from Violence. Beautiful knock onto Reki there from Energy. The GODS want to take the initiative to stand up and clear that one, but the split from GG will make it count. 2v2v2 right now, 2 in that same squad house for 2 or 3 circles now. There is GG trying to get the cover fire to stop that thirst, but that will not be sufficient. There's a 2v2v1 right now. Destiny holding the bottom floor against the 2 players from Energy on top. That will be another knock back onto Energy. Only Fury up. And this is just so clever. Experienced player knowing that's the window upon that knock to move in, and he will actually make it through. Waiting for these teams to fight. He will take that split second, take that chance to rotate in, and now him against the 2 players from Energy in that same building. That nade would not be close enough though, but he has the meds. He has a lot of options to rotate from the outside, and it is going to be crazy. Continuing to use that balcony position will be Reki. Fury is still in there holding those stairs, seems like, as he come in here to the bottom floor, trying to keep an eye and to pinch it. They want to push this. There's going to be a 2v1. They're going to push it. They know he's low, and they come in and finish the game. That is them taking the game 1 chicken dinner. Energy with 7 kills. But look at that. GODS Ultimate taking a 2nd place, but 15 kills. That is some crazy frags right there. Destiny with the 3rd place with 6 kills. And those will be our top 3 as you have a look on that screen. I wasn't quite quick enough compared to the spectator there as they go through those lists, and we saw some very good fight from the rest of the team. N1 had some pretty intense action in Yasnaya. N963 coming in to join that action will find themselves the disadvantage and going out early. And that is our game 1. And I'll adapt as I go, like I mentioned earlier. So stay tuned. I will be right back. And when the game 2 starts, I will meet you all in the next map. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the GODS Pro Scrim. This is game 2. Let's get some Miramar action going. And we will have this plane path from the south side through the Chumasera Church, through basically Picado, San Martin, all the way to the new Oasis bit. We always say Irango 2.0, but this is actually Miramar 2.0, which happened a while back and allows new buildings, new outplay potential, etc. A pretty center path where a lot of these teams to go to the favorite drop spots, unless it's very far, okay, off west or east. They should be able to find a good spot. We see the SKYFALL, basically first team off the path, going to that south coast there to the south of Los Leones. Heading towards Los Leones, we've got a few teams as well to heading that way. The rest I can't quite see. But in Chumasera, we see Be My Loot, and close to them as well, the GODS themselves. And a bit of a split coming from all these teams. And we have the first circle going to the eastern parts of the map. Not quite harsh, can't say it's a hard shift, but we will leave those very eastern parts to be quite open in the early phases, as we see some action here. Already breaking is in Los Leones. 4-man, 1 army, putting a lot of pressure. And that's already 1 kill going for them. Might be on to number 1 EU, as we see them trying to loop around. Tom trying to maneuver with his M4. The 4-man, 1 army is just holding it tight there. That is a return not onto them, but they will get those walkers. And but look at now with the side angle. Zart is not right now. Tom is flush, is 2 of N1 against at least 3 of 4-man, 1 armor. 3-man, 1 army now. Is about so much of these experience in dropping, hot dropping, and then finding the parachute position to find out the enemy's team's formation will give them the upper hand if they can orchestrate a push onto the solos. And we have now right here from N1, Zart is actually going to get revived. So after losing Tom, they will still be up as 3 players. That's Nini with the support there, and that can go on for a while, because if my memory serves me correctly, they are in the circle, and we are now here in what I believe to be La Cobreria, and right in here we have Dr. Animal against Blackjack Esports. There was some early action, and but there seems to have had a knock earlier, but the reset will come through. Look at that kill feed there. 4-man, 1 army continuing their control over at Los Leones as they take down another player from number 1. And both of these teams will need to wrap this up pretty quick. When you see a team's dropping very close to you, of course, like I mentioned earlier, awareness to parachutes is very important, but as well as vehicles. Because with that early resource, if you can pick it up when there's a team close to you, you can make those small rotations. You can have the option to pull away. But look at this one here also. Getting a bit, this is El Arta, I believe. So just testing my knowledge there, just use that little bit of a minimap on top. We have Destiny. And they will be facing Team 18, which is good game. Good game. Had a pretty good game last one, if my memory serves me correctly. I might be wrong though. And that is a great knock. The 3 trying to eliminate that one. The support comes in. That is Destiny eliminating 1 player right there, using that push with that support. But Destiny don't want to stop this as the cover fire from Ghost 69 come through. that is Saint Martin. So I was completely wrong there, guys. He was like, I need to work on my PUBG knowledge. Go69 will be using that 4-stack to stop all the push coming from Good Game or 3 of Good Game Pinch. Now, staying in the same building, I would love to see some splits from them to protect themselves from this 1-3 split created by Destiny. There's also a standoff on the other side. I'm going to quickly adjust this because I think I can make this stream a little bit clearer, and that is a great knock by Destiny. Looney onto GG. Their violence will feel the violence himself. Brilliant control of that Tommy gun. I'm going to quickly find out if I can make this. There we go. That's probably why. So let's bring it back to 1060p. I'm sorry about that little bit. And we have been watching something not as good as we needed to. So I apologize for that. And I'm only going to apologize it once. And there we go. We have a good one now. So hopefully it will be all smooth from here. I thought it can be very tricky the first time doing a professionally observed one, as we have the brilliant sightlines. I thought Destiny had the upper hand with their splits, but not knowing the defensive angles on that car rotation will be the reason of them losing too. The advantage will now go over to Good Game. At 3v2 right now, Looney is still there, and the off angle is still there from Go69. Hey, look at me go. I thought I couldn't make it better. I was so happy that there's not much technical stuff until I found one myself. Your patience is much appreciated, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. Also, thank you. Yeah, credits goes to Imperium. He deserves a shout out. A great caster who taught me a lot. Also gave me this opportunity as he proceeds to some fantastic stuff. I guess all of you will know about that soon. And Looney, this is pretty textbook. I like what he's doing there. Although he got knocked there, but he was aware that he can get pushed from his left side earlier, and he's still worried about that guy from the red 4-stack that you see from the top of the map there, of the screen there. But that will not be enough as we have Good Game taking down another one. The 3v1 is definitely worth it as we have some more action happening. Maybe a 3v1 again, but look at the patience from No Limits there. Not a single sound made will allow them to live another day. And that is something that lower level players don't do well, is knowing when to stop completely and not give away any audio cues. And that is so important, but there's also higher levels of audio cues. The basic ones, like I said, would be knowing, picking up footsteps, right? Like whether it's front, left, right, back. The slightly higher level is when you can do something like, let's say, military-based C buildings. We've got ground floor, first floor, and roof, and there's a difference in that. Okay, and so that is level 2, I think. Level 3 would be the patience as well in giving that away. Like just now when we saw on that small screen there, when to stop completely. And then that's level 4. Okay, I just come up with this, so do give me feedback, and if you have a different idea, let me know. I think level 4 is knowing vehicle. Okay, vehicle render distance. So if you want to scout something, if you want to go around a particular compound, you need to know how far to stay away. And that's my 2 cents there, as we have Be My Loot here with a great split. Look at that formation across, pinching 4 men, 1 army behind that 1 rock. Opening knot goes in favor of Be My Loot. Oh, look at beautiful spectators. Look at this. I hope we will get more of these as they rain in all those nades. Nazir will need to rotate around, use those ridge lines. He will dodge some damage from that nade. Waiting for that support. Gone. And Yuri get there will be on the vehicle. Maybe stabbing them from behind, but the off angle is watched securely by Boyka. Watching like a hawk, stopping that off angle, and that will be them trying to fight on this hand. That will be 963 as well, joining in the party. Three-way fight right here. 4-1 army is having some trouble. 2 up right now. Yuri need to make this count. The hipfire with the Scar will be sufficient, but the support comes in for 963, and they will take down 4-1 army. Is that all of them gone? I can't check on the list, but that was a lot of kills happening around that small skirmish. As 963 lose 1 player, they will get 2 team kills and a trio to continue later stages of this game. But they can't forget Be My Loot is still around with the numbers advantage as well. Energy here wants to take this control to the south side of water treatment. They will find a player on that hill, and they have control over this brilliant position to overlook all this area. The decisions have to come through though, because they've got a rotation to make. Side of BCJ losing 1 player from that control. Look, and they will feel more of the existence and presence of energy as they suffer another knock, but energy doesn't want to wait. They are sending it in. There is Reki on the side. There is Fury coming in as well. They want to take this one. They want to pinch them in that. Just 1 gas station, and Fury is just sending it in. The 2-2 split will come through. That is the side pressure eliminated as well. BJC with that. Oh my god. It's so hard to hold this position. I would send 1 in there and 3 on the hill maybe, but they thought otherwise, and that will be them going that at 15, and we have this fight inconclusive from earlier. 963 now fights Be My Loot after taking out 4-1 army around the area. They still want to control this further, and this is the northern part of Los Leones. A lot of landscape for these teams to show the knowledge of the map, to show their synergy, to show their skills. Be My Loot though will control. They have a little bit more of that high ground, but they need to use that ridgeline further, but they will be getting the upper hand onto 963. Shadow using ridgeline, beautiful little prone there, and he will wrap around that as 2 knocks onto 963, and that is going to be a squad wipe. Shadow taking care of multiple angles at the same time. The communication was peak from Be My Loot as they take another 3 kills. 4 team kills right now, and will continue in this game. Look at this current circle. Most of the teams are in it already, or using some very good spots, power positions that they have experience playing. Minas Generalis and La Bandita basically in the middle, but if you want to play it safe, you can go over to Impala as well. But there is this trend, and it's very understandable based on probability of the game. If you take center, you don't have to move as much. That's basically it. ITK here, we haven't seen them quite a lot this game, but we'll use this 2 huge big rocks to the north of Minas Generalis. Historically very strong position as they wait for this next shift. GODS are just off Picardo and will find themselves a big rotation to make. It will center over Junkyard and will put a lot of these teams out of the circle. That eastern side is still quite empty, so we'll need to see how these teams scouted a lot of strong ridges on that side. Junkyard itself have some high ground, and we already saw ITK holding that position, giving them a 360 view to potentially cause a lot of damage to the teams rotating in from that western side. The scout from Unidentified is already in there to the north of ITK. The rest is still thinking how to get in. The first team rotating in to take a more center position is SKYFALL. Not sure if we have more players this game, but the fight is already breaking from this northwestern edge. The upper hand goes to Energy as they do that double knock onto T9A. But the return knock comes through. And Radshab is not afraid to peek, and that will be them getting punished. It's only going to be one up for them. As Energy flows in like a flood, that is Reki taking care of business and will take T9A out at 13th position. There's some shots landing around though. There's a team with a more center position. Hearing those gunshots, trying to stop Energy with their domination tonight. Look at that team kill count, 8 kills and the full squad still. My question is, will they take a more center position? So we are yet to see that. Be My Loot trying to rotate through Labendita now. The captains are pretty close to them as well, exploring that southwestern edge. Dr. Animal trying to rotate as well, going around this position, helped by Good Game. They will come in from the southern ridge, and we'll hear some rotations because close to them we have Energy. They had the momentum, they had the kills, they have a little bit of high ground as well, and they will also have the position. Dr. Animal is pinched between Energy and another team. No, they will actually just be facing them. 7B is not right now. The remaining 3 players will have to support that through. They will keep the angles on the side guarded as we have the 2-1-1 split from Energy. Another knock goes through. No, 3 knock comes through. Theory will get the other wipe. Energy, what the heck, man? That is so strong. It's so clean, so quick, methodological. Surgical removal of 3 squads now. And that is the thing with momentum as well. And synergy, of course. And I won't have enough of that. Good squad wipes clean. Front to back, what? 40 seconds? And that is that done. No Limits have lost 2 players early phases of the game as they feel some more resistance here on the southern edge. Surtback using that position on the broken wall to pick up some information. The knock comes through from the roof. Mido and the other 2 teammates will only face 1 player from No Limits. The problem is they've got some rotation to make. If they didn't keep an eye on that kill feed, they don't know for sure that there is 1 player. The rest of the lobby is also fighting for control. But 202 want to wrap this up soon. If they are certain that is a 3v1, they can maybe just send 2 and send 1 scout. But that being said, they will wrap that fight up quickly. That is No Limits going down at 11th. And 202 will get rid of that resistance from the southern side. Sky here, we did see them getting a center position pretty early. We'll find some rotating members of GODS Ultimate, and they're trying to stop it. And that is actually another team putting some pressure in. HB is fighting with Be My Loot. And that is going to be a southern control they're trying to fight for. Vampire holding a position, using that pickup as the soft cover. And they will position the cars in the smokes, but they have basically a 360 angle to keep an eye on. They have a ridgeline to cover themselves from center circle, but they are preemptively creating these smokes to stop the backstab. As they check that southern side, we know Be My Loots, they're also spotting some rotation coming from the captains. That will be them smoking up first, but this side, north side, energy is not done as they find 2 knocks onto unidentified. They will lose 1 though. He is also knocked, so maybe down to 2 players. The blue zone is pretty painful at the moment, and they will just have to make the sacrifices if that is the plan, because every second it goes is going to be more painful. But look at them go, concluding that fight once again, controlling the northern side. Energy Esports down to 2 players, but they've got 15 kills. That is as many placement points as a chicken dinner. Imagine taking 2nd position and 2 kills. You would be like, oh, that's not too bad, right? But they already gotten themselves 15 kills as we look at this shift continuing to push towards the far side, right? That's a northeastern shift. A lot of these teams will need to rotate. Once again, we have SKYFALL being very proactive. There's them trying to control this compound against a player of GODS Ultimate. And they're just trying to pinch that with a multiple angle. Pretty methodological, very textbook push there. But that is the problem with this compound, is in the low ground. It has many angles on them. It has many players looking from all around. That is them needing to be very aware of the defensive angles. And we have HB here trying to clear this side as they spot a player from BML, that is Be My Loot, out at 8th position. HB as well, let's not forget about them. We didn't see as much last game, but look at them here. Full squad up still, 5 team kills, but that will be 1 getting knocked to the play zone. He's got some meds, but it doesn't matter. That is that prize of taking that kill and not moving quick enough. Look at all these fire coming from ITK. Once again, using high ground after high ground. They are heavily punishing HB here. And that is ITK trying to fight several teams at the same time. And that is ITK Kaka taking down 1 team as the rest of the team continue to watch HB to cause damage. HB though has the smokes, has the players, has the meds and the cars. As those cars get blown up, they will just be happy that they live for a bit longer, not dying from the explosion there. Obviously, it's a very strong position for ITK, but they will have to move. They will have to move in. And if you look at the mini-map there, I'm not sure how safe that rotation is into the next circle. Look at SKYFALL, the gods of PUBG rewarding a team for taking early center. It goes to them again and again. But it also is about them making that rotation, making it easy for themselves on the next shift, and they just gets it. 202 here, coming in from the southeastern edge. Middle is not right now. HB wants to flank from the side. That is a finish and a knock. 202 down to 1 player, I believe. As HB comes in, will actually fight GG. The side of Good Game also want to join this, but the reflex from Vampire will get him into top 5. But 2 of the teammates are knocked on that rotation. That is them down to only 1 player. So many solos right now. And Sobek on his own. I think GG is only down to 1 player as well. And like we saw earlier, HB is also only got a solo. 5 teams, 7 players. What does that tell you? Oh, but look at Vampire getting the revive. Sana actually crawled it into the zone. We get them the numbers advantage, and that is GG done. He wants to capitalize on that one. Almost went down there for HB, but they would take out good game at 4th position. And they will have some numbers advantage. It's a 2v2v1. Energy is still in this game. Those are our game 1 winners still in here with a very capable player. SKYFALL and HB will see this game as a redemption to prove themselves in this one. And Energy eSports are just doing that little bit of a healing one. I don't think he'll be able to get in with that circle as well. They really want this fight to conclude, but that is SKYFALL with the opening knock. It's now just going to be Sana trying to clear this. Sana will get some good shots onto them though, and that is the flush, but the third party comes in. Oh, that is one stolen from SKYFALL, and that will be Reki going down after disrupting this fight. And what do we have now, guys? Is our favorite 1v1 is Sana against Shaky. You can't get shaky in this though. You need to stay calm and collected. You need to rely on all your muscle memory, all your game knowledge, all your reflex, and the flow of that game as he pre-fires with that barrel. Sana with the AK in hand, the 7.62 weapons, and the duo of the players. Patiently, Shaky using that smoke to maybe choke out the sight lines of Sana. Also to maybe force some footsteps out as he creates two smokes, one on each side. Now pushing very, very close. This is the time that these players would pray that they have, or wish that they have any utilities left. A nade and a molly can change this so quick. One on each side. Just trying to play passive right now. Let's hold our breath. This can be a crazy one. Sana, discipline. With that angle, he will break the door and almost break the life and HP bars of SKYFALL. And that play there, shooting through that door, will be the reason the HB comes in strong and take the chicken dinner for game 2. They are the kings of Miramar tonight as they take 10 kills right here. SKYFALL, the trio, should be happy with this one. Not as many players compared to the other squads, but still get a 2nd position with 4 kills. But look at Energy there. Oh my yai. We saw them frag. I'm not going to take that back. Bloody hell, 18 kills on the 3rd position. I just can't wait to see more from these teams. As we have a bit of a break, I will see you guys next game. I need to grab a sip of water, and you all just chill and wait for the next one packed with crazy action.
Yeah.
And we are back, guys. How are we doing still? Still excited? This is some Sanhok action. So still 18 teams trying to fight in the jungle of Sanhok, where Blue Zone really chips away a lot of the players' health, as we have this playing path going from between Langkawi and Kampong towards the rich compounds. So to that tip there, basically very close to Hartin Bridge. Knowing it's the smallest map, smallest competitive map, 4 kilometers time 4 kilometers, these teams should be able to get to wherever they want. It's not a very harsh one with a little bit of parachuting skills. No problem, you know, Camp Alpha, Tambang, Sami, you name it, they will be able to get it. A lot of these teams are not playing the right half of the map though, as we see 4-men 1 army getting Camp Bravo for themselves, a bit of split to the east of Paradise Resort from 202, 963 heading towards Hartin, those rich compounds over to Dr. Animal, as we have a pretty nice and first circle, but the action is already crazy over here. I thought 4-men 1 army is alone, but I'm so wrong. As they face the resistance from N1, they will lose 2 players early after taking 1 kill. Yuri with absolutely no meds, but has a level 2 vest, and that will reduce the damage by 60%, if my memory serves me correctly. I think it was 55-60 or 55-60-65 for levels 1, 2, 3 vest. And that will be a bit of a standoff. Gone there, using that small block to cover. And sometimes it's a very hard thing to determine, you know. Sometimes people are so salty for people, let's say, camping, etc. But it's just strategy, is discipline, is trigger, discipline and patience. But the side of N1 wants to take the upper hand as they come in from the side. That is gone, thinking that he has the upper hand with that, but will get punished for that. N1 continues to come in. The 3v1 will happen. That is them taking a very clean team fight over here at Camp Bravo early. 4-men 1 army will have some time to talk about that before the next game. But the kill feed is popping wherever, everywhere basically in Sanhok right now. Energy will find themselves. Some players from No Limits pinch in the building. Reki there getting a 3rd position for the team earlier. They won't have so sweet of a start here though. They've lost 2 players and will get 1 kill in return. But the position of Reki is so scary. Like, if teams, I know teams who like to control that Painan Hill to the northwestern side of Painan, maybe after rotating from Cave. From Quarry, they want to take that control. If they do, then Reki will be in trouble. Will get shot from behind. Inside of Banana, Simple, and Reese is still here holding this position. Seems like Banana know exactly the position of Reki. Bit of a standoff. Can go on forever. But they are in the circle, I think, and that will be... it will give them breathing room. But the side of No Limits that we don't need that time. A Simple loops around and finish Reki from that. The information from Banana was valuable, getting them that 1 kill. But look at the position of T9A. What did I say with the flank from the northern side? That is the other team there. I think if Simple and No Limits, if they didn't make that move, the kill would have gone over to T9A. It's just my guess. So Energy, after a crazy frigging game in Miramar, now they are down to 1 player. Fury is angry, I don't doubt that. and he will just be staying there, not making any sounds. You know how long I've seen people not moving in this game? Not AFK though. They try not to move, and because of just the surrounding, like people pushing on them. I've seen a guy stood in the same position for 10 minutes in Vanova. And speaking of Vanova, I don't think we have Vikendi in this split, and you know what else we don't have? Any signs of life for energy in that one, unfortunately. They went down like 16th position, no limits. We'll be taking that win, and look at Bootcamp right now, one of our favorite drop spots in scrims is a completely different story. You need to study it, you need to form formations and tactics, and now is a 4v4 standoff between the captains. And good game. Look at that circle. Pretty nice, pretty nice. The one that we loathe the most is the one ending over at Northwestern Island, as we have this one just centering here. Keeping a lot of these teams in the circle. Won't be a lot of wide rotations coming from them, but as it close and close, the information of the map, the scouting work will be very, very important. I'm talking about every ridge, every rock, every tree. Baru here almost took that knock onto Violence, but Violence will just be holding there for another second. With a player in that trench, they can maybe thread the needle, throw a nade in. The side of the captains, very heads up, knowing that they can be stabbed from behind, or that might be a team shooting from the mountain. That is Destiny joining the party. We all know Bootcamp enough through the history of us playing this game. That is them taking that Bootcamp hill on the south side, trying to third party this from that long distance. An opening knock will come through for good game. And that is team captains facing the pressure right now. Haka is still trying to play patient on this side. When he gets some elevation, he can spoil this. But very close to them, we have a player that is some pre-firing coming up that ramp. And that pit of a position is so predictable. That is good game coming in to take care of that player, using that jump shot around that doorway as well. Taking down the health bar of the captains. That is another knock coming through. Pinching this position right here. The captains want to return this, but they've only got that one player, and they will not have a chance to play this game any longer. That is a clean 4v4. My good game. GG, they say. Go back to lobby. Maybe Destiny wasn't so close after all. I was just thinking to myself, just from what I saw on the minimap on the screen, that might be there. And here we've got BJC towards the main quarry compounds, pushing the gods themselves, gods ultimate, with some numbers of player in this set of compounds. But there are so many tricky spots, especially the one here held by a name that I can't pronounce on that eastern side. A series of rocks and trees in that small hill right there. Very strong position. And Kosti there will actually hold that side, but will be found from the side angle. The Uzi doing work there. The off angle from the side will not matter. That is them down to, I think, 2 players up for God's Ultimate. Unless they've got a very powerful overlook somewhere. That's just like bolting in like that. But no worries, that's the support. That is another knock for BJC. Blackjack. Blackjack with the control will flush that kill. That is 2 for them, is only going to be Dictator up for GODS Ultimate. Seems like he's not even in this compound. He wants to use that other junction compound. But no, he is just pinched and he is just in a small hut across the road. And there's an abundance of team around him. They know where Blackjack is. And around the area, we also have T9A. And we also see 202 here. I believe this is, yes, north to Corey on that cliffside. That is Mido sending into the compound, held by N1. And Mido didn't get punished. Just do the merry-go-round. Trying to bait all the shots. Will not be able to bait further, though. He will get that brilliant scout, just like taking a loop and coming back up. But that is N1 finding a cheeky angle and a good knock onto 202. Now that they know there could be a standoff from that compound, between that and this hill, 202 also need to make use of the strong things of this position. Is using that cliffside, watching south, watching where Blackjack is, as well as stopping teams coming from the western side. It's one of my personal favorite positions in Sanhok. When I was IGL, I spent a lot of time analyzing how to hold this hill. 202 has some good start. They still have the players. They have had 2 kills, so some momentum coming in. And N1 is slowly retreating. They know this compounds by the looks of it, as they use the ridges from the northern side to escape and will get the revive. Nini here finding an angle onto Mido, and that can be just a 1v1 type of gun skill combat as he boosts up before a second round. N1 though, losing Tom early again, but they have 4 team kills as we have this circle pulling away from most of the hard covers. Painan out, Corey out, Bootcamp out, Junction Compounds out too. I'm sorry, said the gods of PUBG. Go into this area, find yourself a rock, find yourself the good formation, and then use your skills from there. 202 now making the rotation. Mido in the buggy that he used for the past few minutes to show some driving skills, but that is also scary. I talked about audio cues last game, right? Oh, but look at this one here. That is audio cues. That is the... Oh my god, that hard push. Like, I thought he would have just won that. Of course he did. But T9A is watching like a hawk. That is them still with a 4 team and 2 team kills. Continuing with my point. The 4th level of audio cue awareness or skill I talked about is vehicle sound range. How far, right? If I drive in such a small map, using a buggy will give away a lot of information. Okay, so we have to balance that between that point and mobility, whether you really, really need that for rotation. Very hard question to answer in my experience, as we have T9A here, the 9 axis, just holding this compound on the southwestern side. Don't want to make any movements. As you saw there earlier 5 seconds ago, there's a huge hill that they have to climb up, so very scary to leave. And let's go to the other edge. This is the southeastern edge. We have ITK here trying to breach this cliffside we talked about earlier, helped by 202. 202 is still there. They have the zone given to them. This is a very good position against the teams flowing in from the south and east side. And that is Anaconda slowly slowly moving up. 202 though will find themselves the next shift with some positions in the circle. Mido is still holding out to stop rotation from the eastern side, and that may pay off very soon. Using that little bit of rock there can stop ITK's movement, but the fight is also happening as we see Blackjack. They won that fight here. They want to hold it here, but now facing No Limits. Banana and No Limits have 5 kills right now as they come in and finish Blackjack and will be the new owner and king of this compound. Problem is, giving away so much gunshots. I know they don't really have a choice, but they need to know that people know they are there now. So the next rotation can be a bit hard as we have the blue zone closing in. 2 of these teams still fighting for the control on the northwestern side, and that is GG themselves pushing against Destiny, and that is them having a crazy amount of kills right now. There's just going to push in. That is Kalat maybe changing the pace of this rotation as he gets finished. Good game. I'm not scared. They now made it in. Hakai is not, but the rest is still up, and they have 10 team kills. Look at all these chaos right now. Not a single player in this next circle. They are all just trying to get as much as possible on the side, sweeping their paths off the edge. Look at T9A. With that 2-2 split, trying to control multiple angles, but they were there on that kill feed as we saw, getting punished from that split. 5 players went down in a matter of seconds. The blue zone of Sanhok is no jokes. It has always been hunting down players. ITK actually made out of that cliffside we saw earlier in Quarry alive. They still got 2 players, but now only 1 up. Xana once again. On his own, still got a few meters to go, and that is the heartbreak sometimes for the players. 5 teams, 10 alive. 2 for HB. We've got 2 Xana. We saw Xana from HP with that door play in Miramar. He's still in here alongside another Xana from ITK. The zone, bless, will go over to N1. They didn't have quite a sweet game in Miramar. They would need to take this opportunity with the zone advantage to take this win. As they hear these nades, these gunshots, these footsteps, they really need to capitalize on this side, because the circle's so small. You hear basically everything, and that is HB finding that window to rotate with M249 in hand. That is Sana going pretty low. He'll continue to pre-fire, and that is Sana from HB killing Sana from ITK, but both Sana goes down, and that is only 3 teams remaining. We have N1 in here, playing patiently with that one. They will find a good angle onto T9A. They have those 10 kills, and still in here, the beautiful nade from Sam. And they will have them pinched behind the rock. Otherwise, why would you even crawl there? We just need another nade to finish the run for N1 in Sanhok. But they opted in for that revive. Little do they know, violence from GG is there, but look at all those taken care of. Who won that one? Oh my god, it's N1. They had got that revive, and we will get it, and I will see a naked man. But let's just come back. Look at N1. With that win, finally 11 kills in the celebration and 4 shots. Good game though. Violence with the spoiler from the side. T9A, 6 kills, 3rd position. They thought they had better, but that piece of wood was not thick enough, they say. Okay, that sounds a bit wrong. I'll stop being childish. And but look at that final circle. It's a matter of trait. It's a matter of finding the sweet time to strike. And N1 takes it with the help of Violence. 13 kill for GG. What is definitely a GG for them. And N1 finally showing up so strong in this 3rd game. And that is 3 games done, guys. Let's go on a short break. I will see you all in game 4. and welcome back. I was saying to myself, that's a lot of footsteps until we get something. But I could have maybe swapped to this a bit earlier so there's no awkward silence. But here we go. Game 4. Let's get some more Erangel action going, guys. Because like we said, there's no Vikendi in PMCO, so we just need to practice more of these two ancient maps, I should say, as we have the plane path going through shooting range and school towards Milta. So pretty nice plane path. Is not a very skewed one, I should say, so not off to one side, and will allow a lot of teams to go to their drop spots unless they are so far. For example, Stelber's a bit far, Kameshki is far, Primos Quarry very peer as well. But let's remember this one, and it will determine a lot of things when we see that phase 1 circle. We have unidentified heading towards Zaki, T9A, going to North Georgiaport area right now, 4 men 1 army, SKYFALL, and we've also got Blackjack hovering over South Georgiaport right now. We get some crazy actions in game 1, and maybe that's a rematch. Look at Rozhok as well, so packed. And look at Pachinki, we have No Limits alongside 2 other teams as well. This time Yasna is within that distance, so that will be N1 going there, Destiny and Severny, and a lot of teams. So GODS going to Novo, Milta Factory. We've got some other teams as well as Milta, so teams everywhere. But just look at this. This is Pachinki. We have 202, we have Dr. Animal, we have 963. I think there's another team that I've missed out on. So let me just... That is also No Limits in here. That is 4 teams. 4 teams. In Pachinki. Can't complain. It's just going to be crazy. Look at that. We got 1 kill onto No Limits. But Chico says, let's take 1 away from you as well. That's just going to be a trade. On the other side, we've got 202 fighting the docks right now. Dr. Animal. This is a classics game. 4 squads in Pachinki. So much like a classic, but look at that roof play. When there's so many teams in here, you have to be so certain of the enemy's position. And Ria's here using that smoke to cross and will actually just charge into 963 Chico. Going down. Reeks with the beautiful play using the broken wall and will just come in, grab some loot as he thirsts another one after losing 1. That is them. No Limits with the upper hand. 3 team kills right now. Team 14 is 963. Morvo. Could be 2 trial players maybe for 963. 1 with the clan tech, never the other one. I don't even remember my short-term memory. Oh my eye. It's starting to die down a little bit. It's just a solo from 963 facing the 1v3 push. As he tried to maneuver out to the other building, he will get found, and that is 1 team out of Pachinki. That is No Limits with the upper hand and momentum in this early game. So that's 963 gone. I believe we had 18 teams tonight, right? So maybe I missed 1 squad wipe somewhere. But yeah, that would be what I do as well. Keep an eye on this crazy drop. 202. 2 players. Lost 1. So just a duo right now. They got 3 team kills though. So that's a pretty strong start. I think most of that damage was placed onto Dr. Animal. And look at that on the minimap. That is Papa retreating or just heading towards the north part of Pachinki. And between that bit of Pochinki and school, remember those 2 sets of compounds, there are a lot of vehicles along that road as well. So will be the important resource if the solo from Dr. Animal wants to pull off some solo play. I've seen solos do crazy things before, and it can happen. I think this is the better time to use some roof play, as we saw from Hermes. Very careful, knowing that he's using that cover against the side of no limits, but his left and right are pretty empty. So doing quick maneuvers there, prone when he has to check left and right. Very important in textbook maneuver. But you'll be surprised how many players don't do that and place themselves in a lot of a sticky situation, getting themselves knocked, not just knocked, killed. And I think that is one thing. When you are picking a cover, if you use it in a way that you don't just get knocked, but you get finished and thirsted as well, yeah, that is a mistake. And look at some other standoff here in School's apartment. We have Be My Loot trying to turn ITK into their own loot, but it's just going to be a standoff, a 2-1 split from BML, a 4x1 split from ITK. These can just continue for almost forever, like a very long time. The usual change of dynamics of this is usually teams coming into Rozhok area to J compounds, or the compounds that can cross the bridge. If you just think north from this position and you know that compound, that can change dynamics. The other one is the hill to the south of School Apartments, which we see teams rotating to them. Maybe that is Destiny in the cars, rotating around School. If they can make it to that position, then these players in Apartments will just need to keep an eye on there, but ITK is there to make an action. They are trying to take down Be My Loot. Who is whose loot, they say, as they take down another one, eliminating a solo with that 2v1, pinching Be My Loot into that one building now. If Destiny's staying on that hill from the south, they can also stab them from behind. But Destiny seems like they've just driven off. Knowing there is congestion here, they will prioritize the rotation. I think soon we will get some information on that minimap, but the information, in fact, is Be My Loot striking, patiently waiting on that side, and that will be 1 kill back to them. So it's now going to be 2-3, no, it's going to be a 3v1 for ITK. They are coming in, they are waiting for the support, they want to finish this fight, and that is Be My Loot becoming someone else's loot. Unfortunately, I just can't help it. If you give me the name, team name, and player name to pun, I will say that pun. And ITK, I believe that's been dragging on for a while, but better late than never. They got that squad wipe. And let's head back to the other sides. This is to the northwestern part of Pochinki, and holding here we have SKYFALL, and Destiny's been rotating around School, right? And they're now coming in to take the Pochinki Church. This is a very strong position. Only if you hide the cars well, and that is Crimes and the rest of Destiny using the ridges around. And that is the textbook parking right there. Brilliant work. And they can take this position as long as they remember where to be careful of. And that is 202. Now, in here, I know they have been in here from the start. Is a 2v2 right now, because No Limits lost one early. And now, Reese is knocked. The smoke comes in to stop those thirsts coming through. We'll use the side of the building to revive instead, and that is another smoke to cover the other side. And that would be what I wanted as well if I were them. And this is brilliant. And they would get the reset. Still strong, 4 kills. This can be changed very quickly as they are kind of on the edge, as we see on that screen there. The new circle, place, school, and apartments in the middle. We've got GODS still needing to come into circle. They are going through the Western Bridge area now. All these teams, 4 teams around Pochinki, will end up on the western edge. They may want to disengage away if they want a more center position. Like this one. It's going to be a Potato Hill control battle, excuse me. That is energy. They didn't do as hot last game, but we all saw what they can do as they pull up here to control this and want to take it away from the hands of N1 EU. And this is the type of positions, you know, that you need to show your knowledge, show your good awareness of ridges and terrains. I think both of these teams haven't gotten a kill yet, but the game, this is still early, and but look at the kill feed there. Is that No Limits? Yeah, that is 202 gone out of the lobby, but there's another team joining this party. That is SKYFALL, but who forced is them falling onto their knees, now trying to hold that, but got not. The knock from the other side come in. SKYFALL don't want to let this go. They are returning the power. They've lost one on that. One is not, is 2 against the players of N1. And also, all the teams around, didn't forget Energy is there as well, as we have Magic just rotating away now. They know there's an abundance of teams, and they just want to play this slow maybe, but that is actually just them. SKYFALL leaving the remaining of the players. Magic just dipped. Just like, I'm gone, guys. There's too many players. I will try to survive as Sky loses 3 as they come close to Potato Hill. And that is why a lot of these teams like this position. If you can get to it early, if you know how to play it, you should have an advantage. It has been changed as well. Look at the top of that screen there. The Irango 2.0 bits providing enough cover for players as well as cars if it's a buggy. And Energy here now slowly breaching. We've seen the aggression in the past, but the aggression will be punished because Zip is there for N1 with the off angle, catching them off guard, turning this into a 3v3, but now gets knocked again. And that is them creating smokes, trying to cover, but N1 holds strong. Would take out another pushing member. Energy's down to 2. They are facing 3 players. Now can get revived safely as well behind that UAZ if they took the time to. The smokes around has stopped a lot of information going to Energy. And that is them getting the revive 3v3 soon. And it's just going to be a CQC battle. That is Nini getting the upper hand with not Fury. Oh my god. And he has this rich line to peek and shoot from above. There is another knock. Zip is trying to clean this up. The off-angle master of Potato Hill right now, exerting dominance, flooding in right now, showing Energy who's boss, and just single tapping Nini. That will be N1 with the squad wipe onto Energy. The aggression did not come through, did not count enough. N1 with the patience will claim Potato Hill and hold strong. With all those loot around as well, not just those of Energy. Do bear in mind SKYFALL lost 3 players there as well. And with all those teams pulling away from school apartments, who is living there now? The answer is GODS Ultimate. very strong covers. Once again, the problem, okay, is when they actually have to move out. I think it won't be for another phase or two until they have to move out, but when they do, they would realize there's no good spots to park their car. The cars are probably all gone. Even when they are in the circle, they need to be very, very careful when they peek, because everyone will be just watching every window, every doorway. May get some teams crashing in apartments as well, I wouldn't be surprised. And look at Destiny here, trying to rotate wide from the north part of farm, going for an anti-clockwise rotation. And this plateau here will be placed on the southeastern edge right here. We've got the captains trying to contest this against Blackjack Esports. And Blackjack has lost 2 already. And captains here to spoil things. They're actually going to find that one. The little bit of elevation from the buggy will just do a run over. Those are the sweet 3 kills they've gotten. And how mad do you usually, like when I get run over? Oh my god, I'm so mad. I curse in every language I know, which is not a lot. 3. I'm joking. I'm not like that. I'm not like that, but it's very frustrating, especially when it's professionally observed. So shout out to the GODS United with this host, and that will be Blackjack gone. As we saw on the kill feed, the last guy went down. Only 12 more teams, 37 alive, roughly a trio for each team. But a lot of full squads actually, because we did see some duos and solos in the lobby. And look at apartments right now. What do I say? Of course someone's going to crash it. Of course they're going to join in with this action. It's going to be unidentified here, trying to nade that one with the pin being pulled. GODS ultimate had picked up on that Q. And GODS will just retreat towards the teammate, but will get taken down on that rotation. Not quite enough. If I were the GODS dictator, you just... yeah. How should I say that one? Okay, on the cross like that, you really need a teammate to cover that angle, to punish whoever's trying to shoot. That's the cover angle you need. Is the same when you're trying to crash a compound. And but they just made it into the building, right? So that will be a second chance. Not every time you get that. Imagine these type of mistakes on a bigger stage, which these teams want to go to. Those are very, very punishable. As we see more teams here in apartments, they are mostly still in, but they are no longer in center. What did I say? Just 2 more phases and they will have to wrap this up. They will not have the cars, a lot of them, unless they parked it on the side. That is unidentified. I'm liking that proactive rotation. They know that the later it gets, the more likely that they will be looked at, the more pressure the blue plays on them. As they take that initiative to rotate, but gets punished. They took a chance and they will not be able to make too much further. The solo from SKYFALL causing damage to Unidentified on his own. Magic trying to play that magic being boom, you gone. But we'll miss that one, so we have to practice that magic trick again. Yeah, three teams. If not 4 in apartments. You saw that there as well. 4 men, 1 army is in there as well. And that is the main battle right now. And just think about it, guys. When you play a game like this, if you have the position of a GODS ultimate and 4 men, 1 army, will you think of rotating? Or do we be like, we have zone, then you just stay? Like, I personally would scout and rotate, especially with the position of Unidentified. I think they did the right thing. As we saw that team ITK on that hillside of the south part of this apartments. They know they are not quite in the zone, so they will just continue to rotate on that high ground. Gone with the awareness, knowing that is the angle they need to be looking at. It's actually them! Oh my god, more than one team finding ITK. That shouldn't have happened. And ITK just having troubles right now. Rolex is gone as well. N1 is watching them from the other side. So much chaos. And from N1 army just alongside these other teams trying to fight everyone on the outside. And that is another one down. Trying to control what I call the J compound will be very, very strong right now. Unidentified still has those 2 players. They send it early. They got rewarded for that, as they should. And they had information in there, although they face some pressure coming into there. They now get the strongest compound in the circle, but look at 4-man-1 army here. The fight has finally broken out. That is Nazia trying to hold it down. Will get the double knock, but was not enough. GODS ultimate. The ultimate slither of health by Dictator. I've seen lower, okay? But they just got picked up, and that is just a clean swipe. And they just need to do it now. Is now or never. They need to rotate. But where to? The question is where to and how. Do you challenge all these teams on the south side on the hill? SKYFALL is there. Good Game is there. How do you even breach that? If you go in straight, Unidentified is there. On that J compound, they have a 360 view using the roof. Just need to do a little bit of parkour, hopping onto the roof, etc. Will be very hard. If I were them, drive up a different pace, take 1 knot and just send it. Okay, but of course, like I always say, do they have the awareness of the kill feed to make sure that's happening? And that is SKYFALL actually doing more work upon the GODS, the solo. See, don't underestimate solos, especially when they have the patience. They have the patience knowing that they are solo. I thought 4-man-1 army is gonna be the one to push this, but in fact, it is going to be the GODS. The Skyri eliminating one, just quickly thirsting that one. Is going to be a 1v1 between these 2 solos. And then he will pre-fire, he will use third-person peek, and he will just take it down. That is Unidentified, unable to hold down longer in this compound. And look at Kyrie there, still up. And there's still a teammate off somewhere, but it's too far, that dot. So he will have to hold this as a solo. As we see the types of game we always see, right? Dips, cars, smokes. With this type of field, with this tier of play, these players are very, very used to it. The captains are showing up. They can get a very good game here. They have 4 team kills alongside 5 other teams. Dude, I don't think there's many full squads here still. So that is definitely them with the upper hand. They also sent in the scout. They have a position on the southeastern edge as they pull up here towards the side of Destiny. Destiny also has some good numbers here, but look at this side. Captains trying to split, but close to them. No, I thought I have some sort of a special color blindness there. I thought that is another team, so 3 teams, but no, that is only them. Then that is Destiny with the upper hand. The double knock come through. The zone is coming in. They would want to wrap this up as they flush one. The rest of captains are running on their feet. That is Go69 trying to find it, but they will find some other players though. Will peek again and will find the prone player of T9A. And Destiny coming in, but not having the best one. It's not easy, and the nade will come through. That is the blue zone, plus the beautiful nade from the captains, and they will take down Destiny when they have a numbers disadvantage. Oh my god, and we talked about J Compound. Kyrie needs to catch it once again, but will get taken down by T9A. T9A play this slow. They play this smart. They are in top 3 right now with a beautiful compound. But what they don't have though is the circle. Just based off the analysis of the landscape, I think... let me still think. I'm actually just buying time for me to find out what that team is actually going to be. Good game still in this one. Have some dips there, and T9A will put pressure from the side. T9A is trying to stop that angle with that smoke, with metal shields being the cars. It's going to be a 2v3 right now. T9A need to start setting this up. It's a time to create that smoke trap. It's this time to use those cars. Is the time to resource allocate, and that seems to be the plan there as they send out one. Sam has all the first aid, I believe, and he gets knocked. Violence there, knowing exactly what they have to do, using the ridge to stop the right side team to shoot as they keep our eyes on T9A. But will live another day though, and we'll find the angles, and we'll take the time to flush that one. May get pushed from the side or shot, and that is Batop making it in like we saw. Sam is still holding it. Sam is still healing it. Sam is still spamming it, and that is Violence still watching them. And that will be the captains going down soon. I believe they just want to out-heal whatever they thought they would, and that will be important. That will be so important, and that will be they made it, and that is them. That will set the pace of the game. That is the game pretty much done. The out-heal, the beautiful nade from Violence, and GG will get them the GG, and that is Barreau trying to get something before going down. The heal has been so worth it though. 7 first dates were not enough for Sam because Batot got naded, and that is GG. Well played with the good game. Chicken dinner in our last game. Erangel 8 kills. Second place, we have the captains showing up. Always good to see teams bounce back after bad games. 7 kills in the second place. T9A will get the third with 3 kills. As we see so many of those action. So many of those fight. Whew. And that is the crazy one, guys. That is it. Thank you for having me, guys. Once again, I'm your host for tonight, Professor Tarzan, as we have beautiful 4 games of the GODS United Pro Scrims. I hope to see you all soon, and hopefully I'll improve and get used to this type, get used to good stuff, you know. Professionally observe, how often do I get that? Usually I need to be the caster, I have to be the cameraman, I have to manage myself, I have to tell myself that I'm doing well, you know, I need to be my own wife. I'm joking, but you get the point. As we have it, okay, have a brilliant night, all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like the commentary, leave a like and subscribe, and that's completely free, of course, but it will mean the world to me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.